Hello, everybody. Make sure I'm live over on my page. I'm going to try something new today and see. We're refreshing, and see if I can actually share this into the group. Let's see if that works. Let's get the right group. Let's go to that one. Okay, so now hopefully we're live in the group. Let me go back over here and see if I can actually see. So I'm on my tablet, which I'm not used to being on Facebook on my tablet. So I'm just I want to make sure that I can be live in the group and that I can see hopefully comments. Okay. Oh, look at me. I'm so technology, like I handled that. So today we are going to just go over the subscription box really quick. These I have the tiered tray with me right now. So this is just the tiered tray portion of the subscription box. If you order the elevated essentials, you also this month get the 5 chunky stars that come with it, and then the banner pieces. The beads are not included. What I did with that one, if you see it in the pictures, is I just bought a garland strand from Hobby Lobby and sliced it up and added it. It's this way. I'm gonna find which way it's you guys are all backwards. That's it right there. They're on the shelf. So you can see the stars and then the banner is back there behind me. But I have all the tiered tray pieces over here, and that's what we're going to be painting today. So if you're not a part of the subscription box, you get these. This is the tiered tray. Let me turn off my heater. That's routine. The heater's going and then it gets hot. Um, and then it will be freezing cold. But so you get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in the tiered tray. If you do the elevated essentials box, you get the 5 chunky stars and the banner. Like I said, with both boxes, you get printouts of the color planners, which shows you. And I think I have those. Let me grab those. I do. So you get the written instructions. It's just super basic written instructions, but you also in the box that you get, there is a label on the lid and it has 2 QR codes. So no matter which subscription you pick, you get access to both videos. So you can watch both videos if you want and watch me and how I painted them. So you get 2 videos, you get the written instructions, and then you get the color planners that comes with each tiered tray and the elevated essentials. So if you have the elevated essentials, then you'll get these color planners as well. And then the banner, and it gives you all of the colors that I have painted. And then of course, the colors are the same on the labels as well. The colors are named for the folk art, what I started with, and I just have never changed the color names. I use the Home Depot colors and a mixture of Deco Art and just all kinds of different brands now, but they're the same color palette. So I usually stick with generally about 20, 21 colors if you count the skin tone of the gnomes that I paint. And with all of that, let's go ahead and get started. So I think we'll start with the little guy first because he's pretty quick, and I'll do them all individually. And I am testing out, so I have a wet palette over here today. Let's see if that works because I swear it's just getting drier and drier and drier. Even my skin is like drying and my eyeballs. I don't know if it's just what it is, but my skin is telling me it's drier. My eyeballs are telling me it's drier. So I'm thinking the paint's probably gonna throw a fit on us too when we try to paint. And hence the reason I brought over the wet palette. Got it from my local art store. And it's just, I'll move this to the side. And actually let me make me smaller and you guys can see the table better. Okay. So this is the wet palette over here. And it's just, like I said, I got it from my local art store and it's just a sponge. You could probably just use a plastic tray and put some shop towels or something underneath it. And then this is just paper palette paper that is just going to sit on top of the wet sponge. And hopefully that'll keep our paint from drying up. while we paint because that's what happens to me all the time is it just dries up. So we're going to sort. We've got Christmas red, we've got the navy, and you guys, this one is like there's very limited colors. I think there's a total of 6 colors, and the gray that we're going to be using. So I have steel gray over here. It's only on the truck bumper, and then black for the tires. So there's not even very much gray or black. So the majority of it is Christmas red, roasted pecan, white, Americana Snow titanium white, and then the navy blue that I use. So there's the husband making the sneak peek. When I pushed myself up against the window, now they can see the back door and every time they come in. So I put a sign up there that says, if you come in, you're going to be in the camera shot. I'm waiting for, I ordered like a room separator. So I'm waiting for that to show up. And supposedly it's supposed to be here on Thursday. We'll see how fast Amazon decides, wants to send it. I don't know. They're taking their sweet time lately. So right now I'm just putting all my colors out on my palette. The blue is almost gone. And then I won't have to have it in the honey bottle anymore. I'm sure if you've been around for a minute, you've heard me rant about these honey bottles. I don't like them. Lots of people love them for their paints. I don't, not so much. So that's just my take on that. If they use, I don't know if they use just like the craft paints and they just fill up their bottles with the craft paints, that might be different. But because I use the Home Depot paints, I feel like it clogs because they get clumpy. And so it clogs and it gets stuck in the little rubber seal there and it's not so fun. Okay, so here is my sample that we're going to be painting off of. We're going to split up these guys so I know that I have the right. I'm not even going to guess on the star sizes. Red. We'll do these ones red. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 4. So red, blue, white, and roasted pecan. And then we have our handy dandy magic erasers. As always, I love to base coat with my magic erasers. It just gives me such a smooth, quick base coat for everything. And I feel like it doesn't, for the most part, it doesn't leave like brush strokes on your pieces. If you go back and smooth it out, it does sometimes. It's a magic eraser, so it will fall apart on your piece because that's just what magic erasers do. But when they dry on there, it doesn't, you can just wipe off the little buzz balls that get stuck on there. And they don't really get stuck. You can just really wipe them. With this, though, if you're new to painting the wood pieces, when you have the cutouts and then tons of paint like I do, I'm going to pull some of that back off because then it's going to go inside and stay in my grooved areas. And I don't want that. I want it to be nice and crisp on this one. So we're just going to give it a light coat and a light touch. Okay, and then we're just going to quickly do the red and the blue. And on this one, I want to say looking at it, I probably used a sponge and not a brush to go across those ones. So I'm going to grab red first and we'll do our stars. And let's see if I can find there's my blue tape. Hold, please. We'll grab some blue tape because it seems to work for me on camera. But when I'm not painting on camera, my stuff never sticks to the back of it because of the sticky. It's got like a gloss finish on the back for our adhesive, and see, that one didn't even stick. And it doesn't like to stick to the tape. So sometimes we get lucky, sometimes we don't. Half the time, at least on camera, we've been getting lucky lately, so that's been helpful. But if I try to paint off camera, it never sticks for me anymore. And I'm like, dang it. It's the little sacrifices I make that make the difference. But I'll sacrifice that and not have to use super glue. I very much do not like super glue because I'm not the neatest creator, crafter, artist, whatever you want to call yourselves. I'm not the neatest one and I'm super messy. And so super glue is always over my fingers and it stays there for weeks and I hate it. Okay, we're giving our white a second coat because it's white. White always needs second coats. And then we'll leave those guys there. And like I said, I think I went with a sponge. And so I'm just going to grab a makeup sponge here. It's an older one that I've used before. We'll slice it. And then I'll lightly bring this over so you can kind of see. I'm just going to come in with the edge and then kind of get most of it off. We're going to push those out of the way, but they're on tape. That's not going to work like I want it to. See, that one just pops right off. These ones will pop right off too. No, they're going to stick. Cool. Okay. So the white, I don't know if you can't really tell you can see just a little bit, but it's very light. I did not soak it, right? So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm assuming what I did without rewatching that whole video is I probably just dabbed the edge. And even then, that's probably too much on my edge. If I wanted to blend it, this is what I would do. I'm going to pick up, let me bring you in more. I'm going to pick up half of the white, half of the brown. So you can see two sides and they're not blended yet. I'm going to come in here. We'll go in the middle. And I'm just blending on my palette. So now they've blended here. And this, I don't know if I would call it the cheater way, but it totally is. This is the easiest way to kind of blend the edges without having to float with your brush. Now coming around the edges here, you're going to see more of it. You'll have more control with your brush than you do with the sponge. But if you're new to using the brush and floating, then by all means, use the sponge. Don't be afraid of either. And let me just say, you're never going to get good at one or the other unless you keep doing it. So yeah, you're going to mess up. Totally happens to the best of us, happens to everybody. But until you try it and keep trying to get good at it, you're never going to be good at it. So don't be afraid of it. Just do it. And that's how quickly that one, I think I did some blue in here. I see some blue highlights, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to pull these off. And this is what again, if you're new around here, I don't use glue on the back of my wood pieces. So we're just peeling off the adhesive I put on there, and then we'll just pop it right into place. And you can move it around. You see how I can still move it. And if you're really brave and you push it down like that, you might still be able to pop some of them up until you give it all the pressure. And then you might get stuck. Sometimes I'll pop things up if I don't like placement. Most of the time, it doesn't ruin it. I would not do it if you have like a script font, unless you're okay with it breaking, because it's probably going to break if you push it down and then try to pop it back up. That's where the super glue might come in handy. Even though I hate it, it does serve its purpose. See, and this is not going to be the same as this because I just noticed I painted these blue stars the same size, and these two little red stars are the same size. So there's going to be different, but that's okay, guys. That is okay. Let's see the blue. I did do some splatter on the hat. Let me see if I can find my toothbrush is what I used, I bet. Okay, so this is the one I painted in the video. So when you get your subscription box, you scan the QR code. This is the example that you're going to get. And that one we just did live. This one does have, it looks like, again, I went over just with a light, like probably with the sponge, and just dabbed some blue on it to give it a different, like to not be so clean because I like rustic, I like grunge, I like texture, I like all of the things. So that's probably what I did with that one. So now let's do this one, and I have to find I totally lost all my haha, I put them over here. This is what happens when I have carts all around me. I'm like, "What did I do with my stuff?" I don't know where I put it. It's been 5 minutes. It's real life, real life. This one, I did do blue around it, and after I did it, I decided I didn't like it, but we're not gonna do it on this one. So this one will be different simply because I did not like the way that the blue turned out. I didn't want it, again, to be, like, so bright and in your face with the white, but I'm not feeling it. So, we'll split all these guys up. That's brown, this is white. I think that's the only white, then we just have a bunch of blue and red. The land that I love, those are all blue, love is red. This guy's red. Do we care about the size of the stars? Because there's, like, 10 different sizes in all of these. So these 2 are blue. We have a red, we have a blue, then we have 2 reds. Okay, let's do the brown first, so we'll get this one out of the way. And I put my heart kind of over next to the Idaho, so when you get your subscription box, put your heart wherever you want. You can put it in the middle, or if you live in a little tiny state over here, then I don't know how you're gonna put your heart near your state, but try. You can try. It's all that matters, or even in Florida. I know I have a lot of you guys in Florida. I don't know how that's gonna work for Florida. You can come down here or just stick it right in the middle. So I'll move this guy out of the way, and then let's do the blues. I'm gonna use both pieces of tape right here. Our construction is back right in front of us again, and there was this poor little dog, I think it was a Boston, and I was watching him out the window and just run across on the cars trying to avoid hitting him, and I tried to go save him, but he's too skittish. He was like, "Nope, not having it," and then he just bolted down the street. I don't know what happened to him, but I watched him run that way, and he seen like, all the cars were paying attention, thank goodness. So we didn't get hit that I saw. And I watched him for a minute. The construction workers are out there yelling at everybody, telling them to slow down and go catch that dog. It was so sad. But I'm a dog lover. My mom's the cat lover. And so we go back and forth. I'm like, no cats. I like dogs. See if we can get all these guys perfect. Okay, now just put some pressure on that tape. Hopefully it stays. That blue, let me pull there's a brown booger from the paint over here. I'm just trying to stick to the tape. But the blue usually only takes 1 coat. That's the Home Depot color. Red, it depends. Sometimes it takes 2, sometimes it takes 1. For the most part, I can live with the 1 coat on the red. If you want it to be super opaque and not have a little bit of transparency to it, then you're gonna need 2 coats. Me, I can live with the transparency portion of it. We have another visitor, keep popping in. It's not my door divider. She's trying to throw mail at me, I don't want it. It's junk. Okay, let's do the white. And now in these, if you guys want your score lines to show back up, have your pink pokey handy and ready to scrape the paint out. There's just little things I got from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 2. Pretty sure they're used for vinyl. Not 100% sure, but that's my assumption is they would be used for, like, weeding the vinyl when you're after you've cut it with your Cricut or Silhouette or whatever. So if you want, then just come back in here and scrape it back out, and that'll give you your score lines back there. We're gonna dry that really quick though, because we wanna get through and give it another coat. I think the reason I went blue on this one was because I went brown on this one, and so I wanted to make them different, and I didn't wanna have 2 of the same, like, dry brushing brown. So that was probably my reasoning behind doing the blue on this one. I'm not sure that I would do even the red on this one simply because the red and the brown are really close to each other. And so if I did red, we could do splatter. Wanna try do you wanna try splatter? Let me find my toothbrush because we are gonna do splatter there. I don't know where my toothbrush went. I do have more over here. Let's grab one of these. Okay, let's stick it in the water. And while we do that, I edged this heart here. So with that sponge again, let's see if this is dry. We can get a little bit out of it. And just came in there and gave it a little edging. I really wanted to texturize like this set this time. So we'll stick that there. We'll move all of these guys. Let's see, what can I cover with? We're going to move these. And then we're going to grab a towel and cover anything that I don't want to get splatter on because it's messy. Okay, so we're going to cover all of these pieces up here. There went a star. Well, let's do the blue splatter. Yeah, let's do the blue. So I'm just excess water off on my towel. I'm going to pick up some of the blue paint with my, where's my glove? I have my splatter glove. And then we have another visitor. He's probably like, "No, I'm not." Watch him run past us. It's funny. I don't know that there's anybody oh, did somebody lock the door and then close somebody locked the bathroom door and now we're locked out of the bathroom. Is it a key or can we pick it? We're locked out of the bathroom, guys. This is a travesty. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so now we'll splatter. That would have been really bad. I would have had to go pee. I'm like, "No, I'm locked out of the bathroom." Okay, I'm gonna stick this back in there. We'll wipe our thumb off because I'll take off the glove and then I'll promptly get paint on something because that's how that happens. Okay, we'll set this. Actually, let's try it. Okay, dry that, and then we'll start putting this guy together. So dry fit everything. That way you know the placement of all your pieces. Look, there's water over here now. Well, you know the placement of all your pieces before you start gluing them down to the wood. Again, you can pop them up, but sometimes it's not as easy as you think. Okay. Make sure your words are in the right order. I've done that too, where I put them on in the wrong order. This morning, as a matter of fact, I was testing out a stamp that I was making for the mixed media stuff. And in that, we're going to be doing, we're trading for our cards. And I was making myself a stamp so I could stamp the back and everybody would know where, they got those pieces from. I didn't mirror my font, and so now if I tried to go stamp my stuff, it would be backwards. So that was awesome. That thing took like 2 hours to laser cut it too. I was like, "Dang it." Now I gotta redo that. That was a bummer. Okay, so I'll put that one. My continent is not down yet, so let's continent, well, I don't know, we'd have to include Canada then, right? Just pop that down and then push it. The one thing that you'll have to watch when you're doing that is the love, and make sure that the US is up high enough so that your letters down here are not hanging off. Another reason why I dry fit. I wanna make sure everything fits properly first. Drop that. And then these little tiny stars. Stars everywhere. So when we were cutting all of these, again, a dog lover, I really am. I love my dogs. But it was bath day. And so when it's bath day, I bring his name is Padfoot. He's a mini Aussie. And if you understand the reference of his name, then we can be best friends. But um he was in the shop and we had all of these pieces in the tub. And when we do it, we separate like the white tubs and tin kits go in the white tubs. And then I start putting the white tubs into the big black Costco bins. And so then there's usually like 60 kits in a big black tub. And for some reason, something happened and he jumped through where the tubs were, and then it's a rack where the birch is stored, so he jumped through there and knocked over the bin that was holding all of these pieces, so there was stars everywhere. I was like, "Oh, that was the last bucket to get started." We had to cut more stars because obviously we lost a whole bunch of stars when he knocked that whole bin over. It was not fun. But I'm still a dog lover. Still still prefer the dogs over the cats. My sister's cat, we call him Murder Cat because this cat likes knives, plastic knives. Now we have what, there's somebody in there. What? I have a busy room today, apparently, guys. Everybody wants to use my bathroom. Hey, you're totally fine. Just know that you're live on Facebook right now, so you can say hi to everybody. You're totally fine. Okay, so we've got that piece and this piece. So these are our 2 pieces that we did, and then we'll move this one over here. Is that the one I just did? We're gonna go with it. What do we wanna do next? We have let's do the truck. The truck is a fun one. Everybody loves the trucks. So I'm trying to move these over there, but kinda keep them in the scene. Here's our truck example, and this is where we'll need gray and the black. And only tiny bits. See, we only need the gray for right here and then the black on the tires, and that's it. So I'll put them away. Oh, I just squirted out on my hand. Grab the splatter rag and note that it's on this side because we're going to need that splatter rag again for the hat. So, yeah, this one was dry brushed a little bit instead of the sponge. You put this here. Okay, now let's pull the pieces apart. We've got red, red. There's things on the bottom. So this is white, white. The big one is white. All of the stars are red. We're missing, let's see, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we'll leave those there for a second because those lost their sticky. Okay. Red, brown. Let's do brown. This one's already, so you guys, this month I had, if you've seen the pictures, they're so amazing. So amazing. I'm so happy with them. I had shipped them off to Ohio. So I'm like, oh, there goes my painted set. So I was like, please come back to me. So, and this was the raw kit that I sent. So this has been shipped across the US twice now. It's like, we're going to paint this one. I also tested all the new bags that I got. So we should be definitely good to go. I haven't heard anything about breaking open or anything since I switched the bags, which is super nice. Let's grab this one because that was a problem for a while. Okay, we'll get these guys. These are all red. And then we'll do the truck too. So we'll move these ones over here. They're blue and white. Red, red, red. Where's our red sponge? Right here. I'm hoping these stars stay on here. They're tiny. Tiny little stars. Cool. Now let's see if we can move them without popping off. There we go. And then let's do the truck. I'm just going to flip on the other side. And then we're going to stop right here because these are white and blue. I only have a little tiny bit of gray there. Not worried about painting all of the bumper and the tires red because I'm promptly stick my finger in it. We're going to paint them black. If you want to be careful and not paint them and just go around them, then by all means, go for it. If you know me by now, though, you know that I don't, it doesn't matter to me. I just paint it all. At least on the wood. I can't say that for the other things, but at least on the wood pieces, we just go for it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this over here. We're going to get a new one. Let's see if I can find a more firm one. I feel like this one's better. Okay, so we're going to do the white. And we'll do these guys. So this one. And this one. We'll go white and then, yeah, let's get some new tape and we'll put those pieces down. Look, it's pulling all the paint off my fingers. Okay, we got that piece down. Pick up some more white. That one's not going to stay. We did so well until then. And then we'll do second coat here. We got some white here. Not a big deal because you can come back in with the red and just touch it up. Good to go. We'll do quick second coat here. And then we'll do, let me stick, because if I stick this on the tape now, then it will stick to the tape forever. And pull these off and put these ones on there. And then those are blue, so let's grab our blue. I'm gonna flip on the other side. I'm gonna hope that stays nice. And then we'll do the center guy. And if you're not as brave as I am, grab a brush to do this. If your sponge is wide enough, it's gonna get onto your other fireworks here. And then we do need a brush for the tires, or we could use Posca pens, but I already put paint down, so let's grab a brush. So just get the brush wet. And then in order to know how far up I want to go for my tires, I'm going to place this guy down here first, and I'll just kind of paint around it. And if it seeps underneath it, I'm not too worried about it because that's going to go over it. So that's how I cheat that way, instead of worrying if I'm too low or too high. You just flip that over in case you did get paint on the back of it. You don't want it on your table. Just flip it over and let it sit. And then the gray, just, okay, tiny little pieces in the front and the back. So this is steel gray. You can do the same. But my fingers are all wet now, so now it's showing up there. Okay, so we'll come in here with the gray. Make sure you go straight, unless your truck's been in an accident and that's got a crooked bumper. Very well could be. We have a new driver in the house, so I'm waiting for that phone call. Dang it. And he's so excited. He got his actual official license today. He'd been riding around with his paper one. More visitors. Been riding around with his paper one, and then the new one came in today, so he's so excited about that. Let's see if we can get, I'm grabbing our pink pokey to see if I can lay the paint for perfect. Our door handle there. You can use it for the white highlighting here. I didn't pick up enough. This is me trying to stay in the lines. Not working out in my favor. I need more paint. That was just easier than grab. There it went on the floor. That was easier than grabbing the oil pins out. Okay, so now we have even more. Man, we are busy today. There's somebody in there right now. Your sister's in there. Everybody wants the bathroom. Everybody say hi to Elliot. He's the baby of the family. She's going up. Huh. I'll get all these dry fitted. This one I did stick just to get it done and out of the way because it has its place, which will help us place these. And then our stripes and our stars. We got star up here, one here, there, and then 3 stripes. Okay, before I place those stripes though, I'm gonna put this guy down so that I know where to put my stripes. I probably dry brushed before, but we're gonna do it after and then we'll get them. Yeah, I definitely did it before. We're going backwards today. So we'll pull that guy off. Get it on there. Now I gotta find my, oh, there's my fugly brush. I love that brush. It is probably the cheapest brush I bought. I don't even know where I got it from. It's falling apart. It's literally falling apart, but it's the best dry brush ever. Oh, stuck to my finger. Okay, and we'll get this star on there. Okay, got that? We'll lay it there. And we'll do our stripes. I know it's, there it is. It was stuck to me, but I didn't know where it was. Okay, we got that one there. There you too, mister. And then we'll do the bottom one. That way we know how much of a gap we have for the middle. Perfect. Okay, now let's grab my fugly brush. See what I mean? It's literally falling apart. So we're just going to dip it into our white and then brush off as much as we can. And you can test the back of your hand. Oh, I missed those. Well, we'll do those in a second. And then just come here light and do, you can do 1 coat, you could do 2 coats, you can do 3 coats, but start lightly, because if you get this big old glob across, then it's not going to be fun if you have to sand and repaint. And so start light, and then you can always add more. It's like baking. You can add more, but you can't take away. Okay, now let's get our centers on. Make sure they line up. What else? Okay, yeah, so now I'm not going to stick that in the water because we have more dry brushing to do. Okay, there is our truck. Pretty similar, almost close. So that's the original. That's the one we just painted. We'll put this guy over here, and then we'll do this one. So because this one's got dry brushing on that. All the stars. All the stars are red. Cool. All right, so we've got blue, 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 and then red. So let's just stick our red on here right now. Push them nice and hard. And then dip into the red. So far, the paint's staying wet. It's staying open, so we're good there. But if you've seen before, Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Hold on. Where did it go? You guys, it's on the floor somewhere, and I don't know where it went. I lost my pokey. Huh. I don't have an extra with me. Okay, we shall use. We're gonna need this in a minute anyways to make our dots. So we're gonna use this one. Is this guy coming up? It's not the same. It's round, and so it wants to slide everywhere. I'm like, dang it, where's my pokey at? Those are gonna pop right off. We'll just pull them, set them over here. We'll see if that stays. And then we'll do the blue. And since I've lost my pokey, I'll place these guys first before I put the dots on them. That way I know they're nice and secure when I come in there and do the dots. Now, same thing with the engraved cutout pieces like on this. Light coats with your lettering. Otherwise, you can get like gobs of paint in the center, and that's not fun to clean. Especially if you want the crisp lines, like the crisp edges. So less is more always. Just like baking, once you've added too much salt, you've ruined it. Except not with paint. You can repaint it, but still. We're gonna need some more white on our palette. Oh, you guys, now I really want my pink pokey because now I don't know how I have toothpicks somewhere. I just don't know where those are either. This is what happens when you clean your area. You don't know where anything is. Ugh. I knew where my piles were. Now I don't know where any of my piles are. We're going to pretend that we can see the grooved lines in this one. Because I have no idea. Let's see if I can find it while that dries. Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, I found it. And then we'll do second coat, and then we'll dry brush when that's dry. Oh, not enough on there. Uh-oh. There's the Snap-on guy. There goes everybody in the shop. They're all going out to that truck now. Maybe we won't have any more visitors. They're going to be in the Snap-on truck. Oh, missed that one. There we go. Okay, so we'll dry this and then we'll dry brush the brown. So same, just like the white, I'm just, see if I can pull it over, you can see. Dipping, yeah, okay, you can see. Dipping into the brown and then wiping as much as I can off. And then you can test it on your hand, still too much, I'll wipe it off on a towel. And then for me on this one, I came in from my sides this way to kind of give it more edging on the side. And then I went across. I'll need to add some more. I'm not going back into the original pile. I'm kind of coming back into my wipe off pile. pick up more because I don't want a whole bunch. Okay. Super easy, you guys. Oh, and I did white on that. So let's slice this. Where's my scissors? Let's slice this so we don't get white on the edge of this. And this is the makeup sponge. And I don't know how I did that. Did I come in this way or I came in this way? I probably came in that way. And I'm a super light hand. The last time the Snap-on guy came with construction, he popped his tires. They gave us these little tiny, so they're doing sewer. They're like no dig sewer repair. They're digging in spaces though, so I don't know like why. But they blocked off our access to everything. And then we complained because the husband needs to have his access to his shop. And so they gave us these little tiny bridges. I was afraid to drive in them with my little tiny Kia. And the Snap-on guy was brave, and he didn't go around the back. He went through he went through where the bridge was, and it hit the sidewall of his tire and popped his tire. So I'm wondering if he's, like, worried about coming in again because there's construction's back. Well, that was way too much. Still too much. And if you want to redo it, don't be afraid to go back over with the blue. And then we'll start on this end while that one dries. And kind of hold it there and see if we can come in this way. Did I do this? I didn't do down here. I think the star covered it right here, so you can't get to it. Okay. So then that's it, and then we'll place that, and we'll place the stars. And then we'll do our dots. Here, 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 and here. Okay. Now you can I'm going to do it with this guy. But if you have a marker, a paint marker, acrylic marker, oil marker, whatever floats your boat marker, then feel free to use that. Put that there. Okay, and we'll get these guys down and then we'll put the dots. Okay. So we have enough white over there. Now there's two sides to this one. There's a fat side and a little side. I'll probably use the bigger one on the bigger stars, obviously. And then the smaller, I don't know if you can tell on camera, Probably, well, from my view, you can. I don't know if you can tell from your view, whatever you're watching on. That's the tiny side, that's the bigger side. So I'm just dipping it into, let's move this. You pull this over. To make dots, if you're gonna dot and you want them even, then you're gonna have to dip back in and then dot again. So watch. Now dot, dot. Now, if I want them to be uneven, then I just keep dotting and you see they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So depending on how you want your dots, you're gonna either come back in and dip, that didn't work, dip, and then continue dipping back and forth if you want your dots to be even. I like the variety of having the different sizes. It just, for me, it just feels like more natural because I don't know, uniformity to me is, I don't know. I don't know that there's a word for it. It doesn't feel right to me. So maybe it's because I'm not a perfectionist and I just go for it. You do have to make sure you have enough paint on your daughter. Daughter. Okay, now I'm flipping sides to the little side. We're gonna go to the little tiny stars. I think the hardest part for me is to make sure that they're not like in a row and that they're scattered. So there's that one. You can see pretty similar when you're looking at them both, but now we have just the hat left. Is that all we have left? So just this guy I have taped onto a paint bottle so he stands up because I didn't have enough stands for him to be displayed on my wall back there. So I just taped, literally just taped a paint bottle to the back of him and stuck him on there. Makes him stand up. And you'd never know. Okay, so no brown on this one. We've just got red, white, and blue with more splatters. Only 3 stars. We've got 3 stars here. This is white. 2 of the stars are white, so we'll pull those over. Let's see if this will stick. Okay, so I'll pick up some white. We'll do the bottom here. I'm not too concerned. We'll come back in and see if I hit all the stripes right. Nailed it. Okay. And we'll do that, and then we'll dry it and give it a second coat. That's the one thing about the magic erasers. When you have paint, they kind of flop back up because they're heavier on that side. So make sure when you're setting them down, you set them down in an area that you're not too worried about getting paint on something. No, too much paint on that. So let's do it this way. Hold this end. And I'm not too concerned about this being super opaque right here, simply because that piece is going to sit on the top of it. We will need to splatter. So if you see here, I have blue splatter on this portion and then white splatter on this portion. So we're going to do 2 separate splatters. There's no splatters on the stars though, so we'll move those out of the way. And that just came out, just stole my sticky. We're going to leave that on the tape so it doesn't stick to the table. Okay. We'll do the blue and then we'll do the red. So we'll grab the pokey to hold that star. Move it over. And there's a score line right here you can just kind of follow for the blue. Well, you can see the fuzz that it created. There was some on the white too, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's magic eraser fuzz. It is what it is when you use these, and I still prefer them over. So I like the sponges, like the makeup sponges that you guys get with each order. I like them for the edging and creating ombre effects and things like that. You can't do it very well with the magic eraser, but I love the magic eraser for the first base coat of everything. It just goes on. I just like the way it lays down. I know some people on the bigger pieces, they like the little touch-up rollers that you can get from Home Depot. Those are pretty popular. And then you can just wrap them in a bag and put them in the fridge and they'll stay wet. Okay. We're gonna move all of our things we don't want splatter on out of the way. We're going to make sure we're not covering with the painted side. And then this one is blue. We may, oh, glove. Okay, so this is still wet. I'm trying to squeeze as much out of it as I can. We'll dip it back into the blue. And then just come in this way. Didn't too much water still in there. Not enough paint. Okay, let's squeeze all of the water out now. And get some of this blue in there. Dip tiny bit. Well, let's try it first. Because I do want it wet, but I don't want it. It's just not working right now. There we go. No. Okay, we're gonna do another brush because that one's not being nice to us. It's all over my finger. I just left it in the water too long, probably. That's what that was. And so it's like, nope, not gonna do it. Look at that. Much better. Get this side. I'm kind of overdoing up here because again, that piece is going to cover it. Now that my thumb is totally blue, we want to do white. Watch me grab another brush. We're going to wipe my thumb off and hopefully we get all of it off. We'll dip into the white. A tiny bit of water on that. Look, half that toothbrush is missing, guys. Look at that. Do you see that? There's like no bristles right here. Okay, that one's going in the trash. I don't think that one's going to work. This one doesn't want to work either. We're just not having any fun with the splatters right now. You're going to watch me struggle on every live. It's the way it goes. All right, let's do it a different way. That one's not going to work either. So, alternatively, we're going to grab it's a heavy, it's a hard bristle from Michaels and it comes in a pack of 3. It's just a glitter brush. So we'll just dip it in there like we would. It's a stencil brush with a glitter handle, is what I'm trying to say. And then I want to switch hands because I'm trying to do this with my right hand and I'm a lefty. So watch me get paint on this hand. Now you're going to see the difference in the splatter between the toothbrush and this brush. And if you watched the tutorial for last month's, I think you watched me go between the brushes too. So now this one is more fine than this one. Let me pull off, set it there. So, can you see how this one is more like, it's a wider splatter? And then this one is more fine in its splatter. It's still there. And this is what I did on, I believe, on the B one. So a lot of people thought it was glitter. It's not glitter. That was actually paint splatter, but it was with the stencil brush that I bought from Michaels. So if you want to try to replicate that, I believe that's what I did with that one. And it looks a lot like glitter. We know that that whole pack of toothbrushes that I bought, that was it's like $1 from Walmart, maybe? So, note to self, you might be missing half a toothbrush if you go and oh my goodness, that was crazy. And then this one, super simple. I'm gonna move this off of there. Do stars here. And you wanna go this way with it. Get it off my finger. And then there we go. Now we have all of the pieces. Are these? Nope, those are the old ones. For May's tier tray box. This is just the tier tray option. Like I said before, you get let me grab them. You get all of these pieces with the tiered tray, plus you get the written instructions, both videos and the color planners for the tiered tray. If you do the elevated essentials, you get all of these, plus you get the banner, not the beads. I went and bought a garland. I got to figure out which way to move. You can barely see it behind me. I bought a garland from Hobby Lobby and just sliced it up because I didn't want to paint the beads. But then you get all of these are chunky stars. So they stand on their own. Watch the video. You will need, when you're doing them, you will need to place them exact, like level, because if you don't have them level, they're not going to stand up. And some of them are like this one is directional. So if you mess that one up, you can't like flip it on its other side to help it not be wobbly. So pay attention to that. But you get 10, 11 pieces this month in the tiered tray with the essential, the elevated essentials box. And if you didn't see my post in the group, I am closing the box on the 20th, and I'm probably going to keep it closed through the summer at least. So if you want in, you need to get in now before I close it to get in the subscription. You don't need to repurchase every month. Once you're in until you cancel. And then if you miss it, then I'll have a wait list open for you guys that if there becomes spaces available, I'll just email to the wait list only. And then that way you can have a chance to get in if you miss it that way. So, if you're eyeballing this kit, you're going to get it now because you have 6 days before it goes away, and then that you won't have access to it or any of the months coming out through the summer because I'm going to close it for the summer. So let me know if you guys have questions. I'll be popping in here. My Facebook isn't being nice and it's not showing me any comments at all. So I don't know if it's just Facebook or what. But questions, go ahead and pop them in the comments below. I will answer them always. And you guys know, just send me an email. And I don't answer them through Messenger here because there's too many bots, you guys. I literally get like 20 messages a day from bots coming in and spamming me. So you guys get lost in the shuffle of them spamming me. So if you want my attention, email me or tag me in the group or on my page, and I see those. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and definitely, for the box, it depends. The tier tray box is $35 plus shipping, and then the elevated essentials is 50 plus shipping. But you get all of the pieces, and you get, I did forget to mention, as long as you're a subscriber, you get 20% off of the store. Always, that's a continuous coupon. And then once a month, I do a drawing for as long if you post in our Facebook group and use the hashtag, and you'll get an email if you subscribe. I do a drawing for a free box. So once a month. But other than that, let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer, and I will see you guys on Thursday.